You know what? We failed to even talk about this. I'm gonna get into this a little bit. We're holding for John S. Miller. Um, Cam Newton's back in the news, and let me just say, probably not in the best light in terms of being back in the news, because he made some comments recently, saying that. Just made some comments about women that some people, I ain't heard it yet, but let me hear it, and we respond to it on the other side.
Yes.
Cam Newton, let's go.
So I'm not one of these dudes to be like, bro, I'm gutter, I'm this, I'm that. Man, I had a perfect example of what a man was in my life by my father. My parents has been together for 36, 37 years now, and it's a beautiful thing. I grew up in a 3-parent household, my mom, my father, and my grandmother. And I knew what a woman was, not a bad.
Okay, what's the difference?
A woman.
Not a bad
Okay.
what?
A bad is
B.
a person who's just, girl, I'm a bad, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I look the part, but I don't act the part.
Okay.
And it's a lot of women who are bad. And I say in a way, not to degrade a woman, but just to go off the aesthetic of what they deem is a boss chick. Now,
The aesthetic.
a woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs,
Wait for it.
right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a boss, like I'm a this, I'm a that. No, baby, but you can't cook.
Okay.
You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead.
Yep. Woo. I'm gonna be still.
That was
over here. I know, right?
That was Cameron Newton on his podcast. I think it was on his podcast. So.
Yeah, it was a different podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember what the title of it was.
All right, so I'm just gonna sit here and be quiet and let Pam. I'm just gonna let you. You and Victoria, you guys just can respond to that.
Wow. So I'm looking at Cam in a different light now. Obviously, I don't like his comments. I feel like I'm a boss, right?
Right.
But I'm not a B.
Right. Exactly.
And there's never a good way to use that name
I know.
to me.
Yes.
Don't ever call me that, whether it's because you got your thing going on or whatever.
But not publicly. No, I'm just
Yeah,
joking.
right, exactly. Well, that part.
Not publicly, yeah.
But yeah, so I'd say
No.
I don't like that at all. And then, just he said he watched his mom. I mean, I guess, I think, people love to the degree that they've been loved, right? So it's what they've seen. And so maybe, like I said, he's his mom and dad. So he's watched his mom cater to his dad and do all these things, maybe, possibly. But that's his philosophy, is that,
Right.
you're not doing, I guess, a good woman if you're not catering, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. And I think there are other ways that you can support and cater and all that, and then not just be around being in the kitchen.
Wow, as a
Yes.
Panthers fan, I'm gonna yield to this Panthers fan behind the glass. Get her
I
reaction
think you
to
need a partner.
I know.
Cam.
That was rough to hear because I actually have been a huge supporter of Cam.
Yes.
I
Yes,
love
yeah.
him.
Yes.
I've actually loved what he's done for the community.
Sure, absolutely.
He's really been great. I mean, he's a great leader.
He is. Yeah.
But he's just got an old school mentality,
That is real old
obviously.
school.
And it's just, if you can find a woman that feels that same way about, their roles, then
Sure.
I guess that's on you. But I don't know if it was the wisest choice for him to talk about it. To each their own. But
Sure.
I just
Right.
don't think that it was a wise choice for him, especially in the position that he's in, if he wants to continue to be an NFL quarterback.
Sure.
Because he is a representation, and right now that's not a good look.
You're going around using the B word,
No.
man.
It's not
Yeah,
a term of endearment.
It really isn't. And but again, I will say this though. He did preface this whole conversation of the product of his environment, how he grew
Right.
up. So
That's why I said
Yeah.
you can only love
Yes.
to the degree that you've been loved and what you've seen.
Exactly.
girl, you better put
Right.
a quote. Hey,
Like
better-
you said, we don't need Wednesday here yet. We're going with Tuesday.
That's right.
Snap,
But
snap.
I'm trying to tell you,
You know.
to be motivated. But yeah, that's why you guys. I was curious about, your reaction. Of course, Vicky's reaction, particularly. I know she's she was definitely a Panthers fan,
Oof.
and I can imagine how that kind of fell on,
We're
fell
not
on you
fans
guys'
of the B
ears.
word, not at
No,
all.
No.
No good way to use it.
Well, I mean, I just
Well,
said, not publicly,
Here we
Behind
go.
closed doors,
behind closed doors.
Right.
not a
And
mic in front of your face.
Not a mic you, but anyway, I just leave it alone.
Are you raising your right hand?
No, I'm just saying.
He is pledging now that
Yeah,
he
I'm
is
pledging.
not saying
Not
that.